everybody. I am Dr. Lindsay Coble.
Dr. Noelle Crosby, and welcome to Sound Sisters, the Hearing Diaries. Today we have a full show for you, and we're going to start with our segment where we do our Be Curious segment that we started last week. And this week, I want us all to be curious about something that I came upon. Scott O'Leary has started a mentor, Audiology Mentors. It's audiologymentors.com. And I talked to him a little bit about his why. And he was saying that that Audiology Mentors is a supportive platform and it's designed to connect audiologists with experienced mentors who understand the unique challenges of the profession. I mean, I wish I had a mentor when I was first starting out. Whether you're navigating a career, transitions, business ownership, burnout, work-life balance, you can choose a mentor who aligns with you. And he has all different mentors, a lot of wonderful female mentors. And he said how it works is you go in and you can browse the mentors and you go to audiologymentors.com and you can explore the backgrounds of the mentors and see which one might connect with you best. Then you'll choose your mentor and you will get in touch with them. You'll schedule a session and you book a session directly through the site, and then you have your meeting with them. He said it's affordable, it's transparent pricing, and the sessions are billed at a consistent rate. So if you are thinking that you would like to have a mentor, and he's just started building this, so it's new to him, he's learning as he goes, he's super excited about it. He also said he started it because he felt like he had some daughters who were getting out of college who were looking for what they wanted to do. And he thought if they had mentors, it might be helpful for them. And then he decided that he would start something like this. So check it
Love
out if
that.
you need a mentor. So our word for the day or for the week is mentor, because that flows with the theme. So now we will introduce our guest for the week, Madison Levine. And I've known Madison for a couple years. Just really recently, I've gotten to know her even more and find out how amazing she is. So we thought she would be great to have on the show. Madison Levine is a second generation board certified hearing instrument specialist. She founded Levine Hearing in Charlotte, and she was telling us today she's having her 10-year anniversary. So she founded it in 2015. Her recent TED Talk or TEDx talk, which is different than a TED Talk, the ear brain connection, delivered at the TEDx Sugar Creek woman meeting, I guess, on May 10th, 2025, explores how untreated hearing loss doesn't just reduce sound, it triggers and changes the brain. It triggers changes in the brain that affect cognition and connection. And we will highlight that TEDx talk in a little while. But let's hear what Madison has to tell us today. Welcome, Madison.
Welcome, Madison. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for joining. I think let's start. For those who don't know anything about you, tell us how you got into this industry, a little bit about maybe your college experience, how you started your practice. Give us the background.
My mom had a hearing aid clinic when I grew up. And so she actually acquired it when I was a year old. And I think she was going a little crazy at home with a 1 year old. So my dad actually found the business and said, I think this is a great idea. It could be a good fit for you. She ran it for 35 years. So it ended up becoming her passion. And she became what I think she'd identify herself as a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
And she loved both sides of the business, the technical, the clinical, but also learning how to manage, costs and how to
Mm-hmm.
market. And so I was very lucky to come from that background with her. And then also my dad, he was a financial planner and he took over my grandparents' business.
Oh my gosh, how great. Yeah.
Both were entrepreneurs.
Uh-huh.
So I had a lot of mentorship from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when I went through college, I was a little bit adrift.
Mm-hmm.
I studied food science because chocolate chemistry sounded cool.
Sounds like a good idea.
It's actually I mean, the labs were all with chocolate. So
It was chocolate
Can't go
chemistry.
wrong.
it was
Yeah,
such a trick, y'all. It was like organic chemistry using chocolate. So it was actually one of the hardest classes I've ever taken.
I believe it.
Oh, I remember organic chemistry.
So that was something. And then I ended up pivoting towards the end of college, trying to figure out what was I going to do with a food science degree. I studied viticulture and enology, and which is winemaking
Oh,
and
cool.
grape growing.
Huh?
And I went on a summer study abroad to Italy, to Tuscany, and studied grapes and wine. And so my first career out of college was actually in the wine industry. I moved out to California.
So cool.
Very
And
cool.
then you made a hard turn to the
Very
hearing aid
different.
industry. At least you're well-rounded and fun.
Well, you know what? I've got a lot of hobbies, so that's it. Once I got into it, I started realizing it wasn't the professional career that I envisioned. As I
Mm-hmm.
got older, everybody was drinking, people were out late at night. Um, and so I decided the alcohol industry was not for me long term.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little bit of a flame out, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
a couple years after college, and I really did not know what direction to go in.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is the one who said, I've always been so fascinated by what your mom does. You guys have a
Mm.
lot in common. I think you should shadow her.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, I don't know if it would have dawned on me if he had not pushed me to do it.
Yeah, how funny and good for him.
It,
Yeah.
it changed the
Just to
whole
like see that within you is so great.
I'm very lucky. I have a partner who we work together on a regular basis. He's in this office building, he's on the other side. He'll bounce down and ask me to lunch random days.
Uh-huh.
It's, yeah, it's really nice.
Oh my gosh,
So
so great.
I did a restart and ended up moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. I figured that I wanted to study under the best person I could. So I picked somebody who was president of the licensing board. He had taught for 30 years, and I apprenticed because
Mm-hmm.
that's the path for an HIS.
Right.
Only 2 years out of that, very young, very naive, I started my practice 10 years ago.
Wow.
That's how I got here.
Such a bold move. Such a bold move. And
Yes.
you started your practice from scratch,
Yes.
just on your own. Good
Yeah.
for you. And now you're coming up on 10 years.
Yeah.
So, how would you say your perspective has changed from when you started as a young, fresh dispenser to where you are now?
So much has changed. I think I was going to say I'm tired, but that's not a
Yeah,
good thing to
we all
say.
are a little tired.
No.
Okay.
Also continually inspired, right? But I think in the early years, I was so focused on the technology and the features.
Hmm.
And
Which I
as
think we
I,
all do a bit.
especially when you're learning about
Yeah.
it, it's so exciting.
Hmm.
I think shifting the conversation to the benefits and the outcomes has been one of the biggest things that's happened for me as a clinician.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so
Um,
interesting.
and then from the just a light view of the business, I thought so much mattered in the beginning, like how great my coffee station was. I was so obsessed, making it so cute. And now I'm much more curious about, my cost of goods
Yeah.
and things that really affect the bottom line of being able to run a practice that employs people and serves patients. And those are the things that I'm paying attention to make sure we're here for another 10, 20 years.
Uh-huh. Such a great point. Such a great point how when you first start, which I feel like I felt like that when I started, it was like the painkiller, the coffee pot, all these things. Now your perception changes. You get this like broader view. Would you say your practice, when you started, was it just you by yourself? And how have you grown?
Yeah. Looking back, I might have done it differently, knowing what I know now, but I wanted to start very low risk. So
Mm-hmm.
I was truly alone. I didn't hire a patient care coordinator until about 9 months in.
Mm-hmm.
So answered the phones, made the coffee, greeted the patients, took them back.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've told this story a couple times, but my very first marketing piece was a mailer.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I put it out there. I spent thousands of dollars on it. I'm not getting any calls. I'm not getting any calls. And I'm just staring at it alone in that office space that I'm renting. And I realize that the numbers are transposed on the phone number.
Mm. No.
And of course, I was hysterical. And I'm like, I've burned my money. I've just lit it on fire. I called my husband to cry, and he said, go get that number.
Yeah.
Like,
Such
he's
a
so
big
matter of
thinker.
fact.
Uh-huh. Such a good thinker.
Like, what do you mean? It's a made up number. I accidentally just made up.
Uh-huh.
And truly, 30 minutes later, that number was forwarding to my number. And I got a couple patients, and I didn't lose any money on that mailer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's a lot
gosh.
of risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of risk, and it can be scary.
Yeah. And I love that, you just made, you pivoted and you made that into something where you probably learned a big lesson too. No matter how many times you proof something, you may miss something.
Yeah.
I
It
did
was,
that once. It was
yeah.
2008, and it was like Sarasota was like ground zero for the housing market
Mm.
problem. And my office building that I was in, that we own now, but at the time, the owner owned it, and he had a big for sale sign outside of my office while I'm trying to see patients, right?
Oh my
We
gosh.
did an ad, and we had the wrong phone number. And I just remember feeling like, am I going to make it through this horrible,
Uh,
downturn of everything? And I wasn't as lucky to be think about it to go get that same number. So I don't know what ever happened with people that were calling, but still, we managed to make it through that. But it is a horrifying thought when you invest so much money in it, and then what can you do, right?
I think it's part of business ownership and like learning. I'm sure stuff like that happens to everyone, especially with marketing pieces like that. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just we all go through bad times and then come out above it.
Yeah. Well, you
Noelle, I
think
would
you have
say
a
let's
great, oh yeah. I was
oh, I
gonna say,
would
you
say
think you have a great marketing piece, right? And you invest, you put time into it, you get it out, and then you don't get any calls
I
from it.
know, I
And you're
know.
like, why would nobody call me about that? So,
It was so
yeah.
great. Come on.
Yeah. All
Absolutely.
right. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about your subject of the ear-brain connection. I know this is something that's really a big deal for you, and I loved watching you as you were getting ready for your TEDx talk and seeing how you just had to practice and push yourself, and I can't even imagine the effort that you had to put into that. But in your talk, you emphasized that the hearing loss can silently change the brain. And this is what I really wish patients would understand more. But can you break down one or two ways that untreated hearing loss can lead to cognitive decline?
Mhm. Yeah, I think that the relationship between the ear and the brain is becoming much more known. We're seeing articles hitting CNN and different places where I meet people on the street and they bring it up when they find
Hmm.
out what I do. They go, "Oh, there's a lot to do with cognition with that, right?" Which makes me so happy that those conversations are happening. I think that it is, to me, one of the most pivotal conversations we can have in this industry because it connects us to primary care, to neurology, to the
Hmm.
fact that this is about people's longevity and health outcomes,
Hmm.
where we really have been distilled down into just people thinking it's just about a widget
Hmm.
when it is not at all about the widget.
Hmm.
So when I was preparing for the TED Talk, I spent so much time putting content in and then cutting more out and putting it in and cutting it out to try to get down to the most important messages. And to me, the top couple points that I think people need as a takeaway, this JAMA study that just came out this year, that it didn't just say there was a correlation or something. It said that 30% of dementia cases could be attributed to untreated hearing loss.
Hmm.
That is
That's huge.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's motivational for
Hmm.
families to want to talk to their loved ones about it
Hmm. Hmm.
because we want them here for a long time, but we also really want them here for a good time.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah,
want them
quality of
I
life
love
versus
that.
quantity, right?
Yeah.
absolutely. Otherwise, I mean, we don't want to be here and not be cognizantly hear, right?
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that.
But then the other piece that I think is so impactful is the mental health part of this.
Hmm.
So 57% more likely to experience extreme loneliness with an untreated hearing loss. And the thing about that loneliness is it shortens life expectancy. It really does increase inflammation in the body.
Hmm.
Um, so for those two reasons, the cognitive health and the mental health part of things, we got to get hearing care more integrated into the whole healthcare system.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Such a powerful message. And I feel like the interesting thing is, as this conversation is becoming more and more well accepted, like you said, with primary care, of how audiology and hearing instruments can help the ear-brain connection, I feel like we all see it in our clinics every day. And Noelle, you've been seeing it for years as a
A
provider.
few more years than you
Yeah,
ladies.
you've been seeing it for years as a provider, and you feel that in your patients, and you know the importance. It's like, it's kind of crazy that it took so long to become such an aware conversation, but it's exciting that we're at this point to talk about it.
Yeah. And even like today, I saw a patient and she said, well, I'm thinking, and she had like a 50 dB hearing loss. I'm like, I don't even know how you've been walking around like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He said, well, I would only want to wear them, when I'm out with friends. And so I had to have that whole oh no, you
Uh-huh.
need to wear them all the time because of all the things that we just talked about. But there's still such a lack of understanding and awareness about hearing devices and what they can do. And so we just got to keep spreading the word, right?
Yeah.
And by your talk, that was a great. How is it doing? Have you had a lot of views?
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
really well. I had a big goal at the beginning. I really wanted to get just over 1,000 views because apparently 75% of TEDx talks never cross 1,000 views.
Mm.
Oh,
So there's a lot that go out there and they really don't go anywhere at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm really pleased. I'm seeing a lot of colleagues who appreciate that the message is so short, that it's
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
concise, and
right.
I thought a lot about who to aim the conversation to, and it
Mm-hmm.
really is not to the person with hearing loss so much. It's kind of looking past them to everyone else around them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I loved that message.
Yeah. So they can spread the word and encourage their loved one
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to do
Exactly.
something. Yeah, I know that, I've seen a lot of colleagues sharing it, and I've seen it out there a lot. I know Lindsay and I both shared it, and I know a lot of other people did. So I'm thinking that that's a great way of you getting more noticeable views on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On that same line of how you crafted your message, how did you work with like a speaking coach or did you just write it? I mean, what is even the process to doing that?
I knew nothing when I got into this.
I wouldn't either.
Oh my gosh. A couple years ago, somehow I got inspired. I did a few local talks and it lit me up.
Hmm.
It felt so good. I really enjoyed educating.
Hmm.
And so I made it a goal a few years ago to speak on some bigger stages. I really wanted to challenge myself, and
Uh-huh.
I got the opportunity to do that. And did like Hear World and the International Hearing Society and some different groups. I knew that a TEDx was maybe somewhere out there in 5 years or something, but a friend of mine got rights to put on this TEDx
Oh,
this year. And she had heard me say in a women's networking group that I was trying to do more speaking. And she called me up and said, you have to apply.
my gosh.
And I was really honored. There were 100 applicants, 13 of us got to do the talk.
Good for
And
you.
we had about 90 days to get prepared.
Oh my gosh.
So it was speaking coaches, it was um, presenting our talks to each other over and over and over. Then on stage, it was I canceled patients on Fridays. I
Yeah.
dedicated Wednesday mornings. It was a big undertaking.
Yeah, what a big undertaking. But we
Yeah.
appreciate the message. It was
Yeah.
so well said. Like you said, it
Yeah.
was concise, to the point, well researched. It was, I
Yeah.
feel like, exactly what needed to be said. So good job.
Yeah. I was wondering if you used, like, I'm a big Toastmaster, and that has been a huge assistants for me, and they have so many strategies. So I was at a regional Toastmasters or a divisional Toastmasters contest, and just the effort, like you said, that goes into a 5 to 7 minute talk, all of the things, even just for those contests that people do. And it was amazing to listen to them speak. And so I have a thought of what I want to do next year for my talk, and I will start working on that. But let's move along a little bit. Let me ask you a couple more questions. So, in your talk, you resisted downplaying your accomplishment and you encouraged others to sit in the moment of pride. How do you navigate the balance between humility and confidence as a healthcare leader? Because I feel like you do have a voice and you have made a mark on all of us. So tell me how you feel about that and how you navigate that.
That's a really good question because truthfully, it's very challenging. Um, I think as women, we are aware that there are voices that are sometimes louder than ours.
Hmm.
Even though there are fewer men in the industry, they seem to have, a lot of say in a lot of things.
Hmm.
And I certainly don't want to rock the boat or to create conflict or anything, but I also really want to be heard.
Hmm.
As far as sitting in the moment of being proud of something that I've produced was really hard. When I put the TEDx out there and I just said how proud I was of it and everything, you then are opened up to all kinds of feedback from people.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everything to my face has been very positive. So that's good, which is wonderful. But I think that for most of us, we are our own worst critic.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
And
Sure.
especially for high achieving women,
Hmm.
you set goals for yourself. And for me, at least, even when I achieve it, I really have to do a lot of self talk to sit in that moment and appreciate it and not just immediately raise the bar again and feel like it's not enough.
Hmm.
I'm constantly doing that work though. I don't think that that'll ever stop. Hopefully, I'll get better at it.
Well, I'm wondering too, did you get a lot of negative comments from people online? And
So far, I can say it's been 100% positive.
oh, I love that.
I haven't had a single negative thing said. So, on the TEDx itself, I have hundreds of comments already, which is amazing, especially from a ton of patients.
That's awesome.
100 patients have gone and commented, and it feels really good. It's a lot of praise. It's a lot of, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so thankful I got hearing aids. Thankful they found us.
Hmm.
Um, so it feels good. But I am aware that the farther that the talk goes outside of my circles of people that actually know me, the internet is kind of crazy. I might encounter some people who will just say
Yeah.
whatever they're thinking.
Uh-huh.
For no reason at all, other than
I
they just
know.
want to be
Be
mean.
mean behind a screen in a
Yeah,
fake name.
for sure.
Which can be
And
hard. So it's so great that you have positive feedback from people on the
yeah,
internet.
so I love that. I'm so glad that our industry and patients are supporting
Mhm.
you in that. That's really good to hear.
I love your question, Noelle, about what's one unexpected insight that you gained or that you learned from doing your TEDx talk or that you think everyone should know and just have top of mind. What's one insight you would want people to walk away with?
It really does go to me down to longevity. That's a word that I don't feel like we really are pairing up in the audiology world with how we're looking at hearing care. We
Mhm.
talk about these health impacts that can be negative, three
Mhm.
times greater risk of having a fall. You've got this increased dementia, loneliness. But if we draw the conclusion farther, when we have these negative things happen to us, it does shorten lifespans.
Mhm.
So that's the word that I want people to take away is this is about longevity.
Mhm.
And if we want to age gracefully, the internet is aflame with
Yeah.
stuff like eat more protein and, do
Don't eat
squats and
sugar. Eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
your lower body strength will have a direct impact on your longevity.
Hear better.
Yeah.
Let's hear better too, because
Yeah.
if we're losing any of our other senses, we would be immediately taking care of it.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I always love when a patient it feels so empowered to take care of their own longevity. And it's such when we all think about like who's your favorite patient? It's that person who is there because they've noticed a change and they are so excited for what's to come. And they want to tell everybody about how great
Yeah.
it is to help themselves. So I love that. I love longevity and I love aging gracefully because I think that's where we can come in. Love
Yes,
it.
for sure.
Um, okay, let's shift back to about your practice a little bit. So, as an independent provider, you fit all major hearing aid brands. How do you help patients choose the right device? How do you work in best practices into the way you run your clinics? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think it's really formulaic. If we do best practice care every time in the same way, then there's never really a question
Mm-hmm.
of, of whether we missed it on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So we use Relier, of course, with every fitting. As far as brands, I think it very much depends on the hearing loss.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where you have to take each person individually. And as a provider, we know how to filter
Mm-hmm.
um, through our minds what's going to be the best fit for that patient, what's going to
Mm-hmm.
work and be successful. And then on the flip side, you can see those outcomes when you have a practice where you see they've got a bunch of great reviews and people are telling you about them all the time. Like that is the proof is in the pudding. Like they had a great experience and the outcome is there.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell us about, so beyond hearing aids, you have built your clinic to offer lots of different services. So you do balance, you do tinnitus care. Tell us kind of about that, how you incorporated that into your practice, and kind of just how you treat patients holistically. Having those services, you can do all of that right there in your office.
When I started, I will say we were certainly a very professional model, but we were more retail than
Hmm.
medical.
Hmm.
And again, I was by myself as an HIS. And at about year 4, I brought on our first audiologist. And we changed a lot of our protocols for
Mm.
how we were doing certain things. We added tympanometry. Um, we did a lot of great things. But it wasn't until about 3.5 years ago that we moved spaces and I added vestibular equipment,
Uh-huh.
rotary chair, the whole deal. And all along, we've been strengthening our tinnitus program as we've gone. So I just see comprehensive care just makes sense. Why wouldn't we operate at the full breadth and scope of each provider's abilities?
Yeah.
And then the patients, they come to us for one reason and then they stay with us for another.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I am very particular about data management, sending newsletters and contacting patients about what you can just call cross-selling because
Hmm.
they have other needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great business minded way to just emphasize what you offer in your clinic. Do
Yeah, I'm very impressed with your business skills and
yeah.
how you've built your business and the fact that you have all these other providers that are audiologists and you still see patients we talked about, but you're also more the business person with a heart. So I love how you've set everything up too.
Do you have one location, Madison, or do you have multiple offices? Just the one location? And how
Yes,
many providers do you have?
we currently have 4 besides me.
Great.
Yeah.
So great. What a good team. I love that. Both Noelle and I have the one location
Yeah.
practices. Oh, you have two locations, right, Noelle?
Well, no, I used to have a satellite office, but
Oh,
I
now
don't
you just have the
anymore.
one. Yeah. I just love the camaraderie of one office, everyone
Yeah.
being under the same roof. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Me too.
So do you think we should wrap up this part of it and get going with some rapid
Do our
fire
rapid
questions?
fire. Yeah, let's do our fun rapid fire
Wrap it up. Do you
questions.
have anything that you want to say related to the conversation that we've had before we do the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, the only other thing I'd say is as far as that TEDx talk goes, I want people to use it
Hmm.
however is going to be helpful in the profession. I don't care about
Hmm.
how many views it gets. if it gets downloaded and put on a TV and people are watching it, I just want it to motivate
Hmm.
and have impact for people. So I want them to feel free to cut it up, use it however they want to.
I love
That's
that.
great.
And thank
That's
you for being
great.
so
So thank you.
sharing. Like
Yes,
Noelle
for
and I
sure.
both shared it. Our patients have watched it. It's
Yeah,
such
I'll
a,
probably put it on my website. And now that you
yeah,
say that,
By all
yeah,
means.
that's so smart. No reason to reinvent the wheel when we have accurate information at our fingertips. Thank you,
right.
Madison.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
here comes our fun rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm
What
ready.
word, what word would describe you and why?
Driven.
Ooh,
Ah,
I
I love that.
can't even help it.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
There's always something. And if I don't have something, then I get kind of bored.
Hmm.
I got to have a reason to be creating
Hmm.
and hopefully putting good into the world.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. What would you do if money wasn't a concern?
Professionally, I would give away hearing aids to everybody.
Hmm. Hmm. I think that'd
Um,
be fun.
Personally, I would probably vacation a little bit more.
Love that too. What is one thing you are afraid of?
You know, I am a little afraid of where AI is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I am also really excited about it. I have a lot of good ideas about what I think it's going to do. But ultimately, I think long term, I'm concerned.
Yeah. There's a lot of question marks, I think, about, and a lot of scary feelings of, wow, AI can really do that.
Take over some of the jobs and things that
Yeah,
we only we can do.
that's a very valid fear. Where do
Yes.
you see our profession in 10 years?
I see it much more integrated into primary care and neurology.
Mhm.
I think that we are going to be more respected among these different healthcare communities, and there's going to be stronger recommendations, just like getting mammograms and colonoscopies.
Mhm.
We're going to have hearing screenings in primary care offices, and we're going to have tons of referrals.
I love that.
Good
What do
vision.
you think we could do to make our profession better for all?
I think that we could be less siloed.
Mhm. Mhm.
We've got different organizations representing different portions of us.
Mhm.
And truthfully, for us to handle the things that are coming next, I think we're going to need to compromise some and for everybody to come together with some of these causes that are going to impact all of us who are
Right.
involved in audiological care.
Mhm. I love that. Good
Yeah.
job with rapid
Agree.
fire, Madison.
Yeah. Lovely, Madison. It was so great to have you on the show.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much, Madison. You're such a trailblazer in the industry. You're such a good mentor. I love your word longevity.
Mentor. Yep.
Seriously, you're doing such good things out there, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Yep. And
guys.
share her TED Talk, TEDx talk. Put it on your website. Share the information.
Love it.
Great.